If you are looking for the ultimate game of Disney trivia, you are in the right place. Welcome into episode 167 of Disney Jeopardy! As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri. Thanks so much for tuning in. You tuned in last week. You know that Chicken Little, the cinematic masterpiece from the early 2000s, will be one of your 5 categories today, along with 4 other topics that we will cover. One of which is a fan favorite, and again, I blame them. We'll see that in a second, but first, let's take a look at the board and see what the other ones are. Once again, Chicken Little will lead things off. See how much you remember about it. Disney legend Sterling Holloway, your second category. Your third one is That's How It Ends. For your theme park category, I'll be quoting some attractions. And finally, it is the highly anticipated return of Bryan's terrible drawings. I am but a humble man, but look, when 69% of the Club DJ viewers want Bryan's terrible drawings back, what can I say? With that sound, it is time for the cupcake round, the easiest round of the game. We take a look at the full board. She's a beaut. And we begin at the top left. It's the 200-pointer from Chicken Little. Chicken Little and his friends live in this town. They live in Okie Oaks.
And the board game with little spoons with your face on it.
All right, moving on now to Sterling Holloway. I've mentioned the legendary actor a few times over the last few weeks, telling you that this category might be coming, so hopefully you did some research on the legend. Let's begin. At the Disney Legend ceremony in 1991, Sterling was walked to the stage by this bear, a character he voiced for decades. After Sterling passed, that bear went on to be voiced by another now Disney legendary voice actor, Jim Cummings. But which bear was I talking about here? It's none other than Winnie the Pooh. And yes, there he is walking Sterling to the podium at the 91 Disney Legends ceremony. All right, now we get set to move on to That's How It Ends. Yes, that is how it ends. I will read you the ending of a Disney or Pixar movie. You'll just have to tell me which movie I'm describing. A bunch of animals put their differences aside to come together and watch a cub get hoisted in the air. Well, it's kind of like Zootopia out there, where predator and prey put aside their differences and sing Kumbaya. In this instance, they're doing it for the raising of a lion cub. That is the ending to The Lion King. Okay, theme park fans, it's time for your category. I will read you a quote from either a pre-show or an attraction. You have to tell me which ride the quote is tied to. Let's begin. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. One of the most famous quotes in all of Disney, por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas, can be heard before you even enter a Disney theme park. That's because it is part of the monorail system, which is a ride, by the way.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
All right, it is the moment you have been waiting for. It is the return of Bryan's terrible drawings. Once again, I will show you an image that I brought to life. But you will have to tell me what scene I have drawn. Let's check it out. Oh, beautiful, gorgeous, dazzling, mesmerizing. What scene is this? Well, we take a look at the details. This little aura in the back of our main character is actually water splashing, because that is none other than Ariel, the Little Mermaid, when she emerges on the rock. Now, in the past, I have included colors, obviously, in my drawings. I will do that for the upcoming t-shirts, but I thought you should see the original sketches here And it also makes it a little harder, I guess, because if I gave you the colors, I mean, it's, like I said, it's indistinguishable from the actual movie. All right. Second round now begins with Chicken Little. In the movie adaptation of Chicken Little's story seen at the end of the film, the main chicken goes by this name. He actually went on to get a video game as well. His name is Ace.
Commander Little, no!
Please call me Ace.
Oh, Ace, no!
Here comes Sterling Holloway's second clue. 4,499 clues have come and gone. So it's time for number 4,500, aka the Daily Double. It's time to make your wagers based on your knowledge of Sterling Holloway's history with a chance to double your scores if you make it a true. Here is your Daily Double for episode 167 from the category of Sterling Holloway. Sterling's first voice work with Disney came in 1941 when he voiced a stork in this film. That is Disney's fourth feature animation film. Dumbo is your correct answer.
Now, let me see. Must be right around here somewhere. I hope. Oh, watch it there.
Let's move on to the 400-point clue from That's How It Ends. Two best friends get jobs together working in a mailroom. That is how Monsters University comes to an end.
This is better than I ever imagined.
I bet we break the all-time record in our first year.
Here's your second ride quote. A warm welcome back to those of you who made it. Perhaps it's not delivered in such a chipper fashion. It's more like a warm welcome back for those of you who made it. That's my Rod Serling. Not the best, not the best. But Rod Serling, of course, is a part of the Tower of Terror.
A warm welcome back to those of you who made it, and a friendly word of warning. Something you won't find in any guidebook.
I hope you're sitting down for the 400-point clue from Brian's Terrible Drawings because it is a sight to behold. Spectacular. Name the scene. Who else has a ponytail with a bow in it? Who else has gigantic beastly hands? And who else has a pretty face like this? I think that's enough details for you. The correct answer is Beauty and the Beast's ballroom scene.
You were wrong.
That was one of my favorites I've ever done. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to put up a shirt this week, but if you want one, leave a comment below, and whichever comment gets the most likes will be the shirt that goes up. Because I do think the 5 in this episode are my finest work. Brian's Fine Art, don't forget, that's the true name. All right, let's move on. 600-point round now. Back to Chicken Little we go. The name of Chicken Little's baseball team. It's pretty apropos that they're called the Acorns.
Safe! The runner is safe! It's all over, folks! The Acorns have done the impossible!
Here's Sterling for 6. Holloway passed away on November 22nd, 1992. The same day that this celebrity, who would go on to voice one of the characters he originally brought to life, celebrated her 8th birthday. All right, so let's break down this clue. Sterling voiced a number of iconic, legendary Disney characters. Which one was then voiced again, but this time by a woman who turned 8 in 1992. That would be Kaa the snake, who Sterling voiced in the original Jungle Book back in '67. 2016 brought us the live action, and Kaa was voiced by Scarlett Johansson.
Trust in me.
Halfway point of the game brings us to That's How It Ends. After kissing a woman who saves his life, a man hops on a boat and leaves. Well, not the most detailed way to describe the ending of Pocahontas, but it works. Here's ride quote number 3. Your cadaverous pallor betrays an aura of foreboding. Is this room actually stretching? Maybe that's a bigger giveaway. The correct answer is Haunted Mansion.
Your cadaverous pallor betrays an aura of foreboding.
Get ready to be blown away with my third drawing of the game. Don't forget, it's all in the details. We zoom in to see, oh, wait a second, that's not a human in a big coat. No, it's an owl and some birds and a squirrel and a hat. And most importantly, it's the beautiful Princess Aurora. Notice the gorgeous hair. Aurora's got the best princess hair, and I made sure to work on it. Yep, you see the swirl. She's also holding her dress, like kind of like, hey, you want to dance? You know, she's like, want to dance? Want to dance? See? It's all in the details. Anyway, the correct answer is the scene where Aurora dances with the forest animals in Sleeping Beauty. Let's move on. 800-point round now. It's Chicken Little. At the start of the film, Chicken Little and his dad stop at a red light in their car. The traffic signal is controlled by this type of animal. Not to be confused with the crosswalk signal, which shows a turtle on it before Chicken Little crosses the road. No, this time when they're in the car, we see that a chameleon, which is pretty funny, is the traffic light. All right, let's move on. 800-pointer from Sterling, Holloway. Skunk, cat, mouse. Name the 3 Disney feature animation films where Holloway voiced these types of animals. So we begin with the skunk right after voicing the stork in Dumbo. Sterling voiced Flower, adult Flower, in Bambi.
It's happened. Happened? Yes, in the thicket. Hurry up, Bambi.
As for the cat, one of the most famous cats in Disney history, the Cheshire Cat.
Oh, you can't help that.
Most everyone's mad here.
So that's part 2 of your answer. And to round it out, he voiced a mouse in a movie about cats. He voiced Rockfort, or Roquefort. Do they say it like that? Did I just make that up? Anyway, in the Aristocat. So the correct answer is Bambi, Alice in Wonderland, and the Aristocats.
Good evening, Monsieur Roquefort.
Something smells awfully good.
Here's That's How It Ends for 800. The film's main character loves his friends dearly, but not as much as the idea of living free at a local carnival. So he tells them, just leave me. That is the ending to Toy Story 4, and that is the ending to the Toy Story franchise until Toy Story 5 comes out next month. And as a reminder, told you last week, episode 170 of Disney Jeopardy will be Toy Story Jeopardy. So get set for the film and the episode by watching all 4 movies by the middle of next month. Let's move on. It's another ride quote. We've got something now called the rat race. You can hear that in the Carousel of Progress.
We've got something now called the rat race. Did you ever hear that one?
Last clue before the 1000s belongs to Brian's Terrible Drawings. Well, the clue is worth 800 points, but if I'm being honest, I feel like it should be worth 200 because look at this. How do you not get this? It's clear as day. We've got the music notes. We've got the grand piano, and atop the piano, we've got the Aristocats with their instruments. There's Scat Cat with his hat. And there's that, hippie-looking cat with the sunglasses. This is the scene when they are jamming out to Everybody Wants to Be a Cat and breaking through the floors. As you can see, that's what they're doing right there. They're breaking through the floors from jamming out so hard. All right. 20 clues. Yep, that's right. 20 clues are down. And 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, you know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic soundtrack infused unnecessarily. Spotlighted. Part of the game. The 1,000-point round. Hit it! And as the 1,000-point round begins, as a reminder, head over to DisneyJeopardy.com to scoop up your Remember Who You Are shirt while it's still available. Next week, I've decided just now, next week is when I will add one of these 5 drawings today to the shop. So make sure you comment again which one you want to see show up on both a mug and a t-shirt. Let's get this 1,000-point round started with Chicken Little. Runt's mother threatens to take away his collection, honoring this iconic diva of stage and screen. Thank you, Carly, for the clue. The correct answer is
Barbara Streisand.
Runt, that's enough! Don't make Mommy take away your Streisand collection!
Mom, you leave Barbara out of this!
Here's your final clue from Sterling Holloway. Holloway served as the narrator for The Cold-Blooded Penguin, a short that is a part of this Disney film. Well, Sterling went on quite the run after making his Disney debut in Dumbo. I already mentioned it, but he went on to do Bambi, then skipped a movie, that movie being Saludos Amigos, before doing the correct answer here. Cold-Blooded Penguin was part of the Three Caballeros. So collect your points if you got that right.
2 things you will find most of down here are ice and penguins.
Let's move on. Final clue from That's How It Ends. A child hops on a school-bound train to live out his dream. I should have said just a CT boy. No, I shouldn't have done that. No, I shouldn't have. Anyway, the correct answer here is Luca. You get it? CT boy. School-bound train. Here's ride quotes for 1,000. By now, we're all communicating from anywhere on Earth, and in 1969, from somewhere else. You can hear Dame Judi Dench read that line as part of Spaceship Earth.
By now, we're all communicating from anywhere on Earth, and in 1969, from somewhere else.
Sadly, it is time for your final clue of the board before Final Jeopardy. It is my last terrible drawing. This might be my finest work yet. You see the curly hair, the creepy hands, and the rats along his back. Hopefully that gave you the correct answer. It is the We Don't Talk About Bruno scene from Encanto. 25 clues are down, and 1 remains. Just so happens to be the game's most important clue, so don't get it wrong. But what category will it come from? Well, that's what the Final Jeopardy wheel is for. And you might remember last week I added 3 live action films to replace all the animated movies that we've lost over the last couple of months. After losing Chicken Little last week, we replaced it with the top comment from last week, which was Bedknobs and Broomsticks. So Bedknobs and Broomsticks is now part of that little black and gray section on the wheel right there. But now let's focus on the task at hand, which is actually spinning the wheel. Let's see if it's live action or animated. Ooh, that was a close one. I thought it was going to change at the last second, but nope. Cinderella wins by a hair. It's been over 100 episodes since I did Cinderella, so we're just going to focus on the movie as a whole. For now, make your wagers based on how much you remember about Cindy. Cinderella, likely Disney's most famous princess movie. I think so, right? More famous than Snow White, it's more famous than Beauty and the Beast. I'm not saying it's better, but I think everybody, whether or not you're a Disney fan, knows who Cinderella is. But how much do you know about the legendary princess? Let's find out by reading the final clue of the game, all about the movie from 1950. We see Cinderella slip out of one of her shoes this many times in the film. Good luck. And time is up. How many times did Cindy slip out of her shoe? You've got the most famous scene right here when she's saying, excuse me, Prince Charming, I need to go because it's past my curfew. I'm missing my favorite TV show. Get away from me. And she drops her shoe. Okay, one time is acceptable, but then she does it again on her wedding day, and Mr. Charming picks it up and blushes because he's a weirdo. That's two. Is that it? No, that is not it. She actually does it a third time earlier in the film when she is carrying food up the stairs. So there you have it. 3 times is your correct answer. And yeah, I think it's time for Cindy to maybe go down a size. And that does it for episode 167 of Disney Jeopardy. Thank you so very much for watching Bunny Eclipse. Thank you for producing this show, and thank you for helping me with all those drawings today. That's right, Bunny. Bunny critiqued them all. He told me I needed to improve every single one. They were actually worse than the ones that you saw earlier. Now, Club DJ members, it's time to go vote in the poll. Lock in those votes to help determine the path that episode 168, next week's episode, goes down. You've got 3 glorious options right there. Maybe none as glorious as Brian's Purple drawings, but they're all good options nonetheless. And if you have a Disney Jeopardy pet you'd like to see at the end of these episodes, just like Bunny, and send them my way via Instagram. I'll bring that back either next week or the week after. But for now, you know the deal. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe, click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way, you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. Bunny, say goodbye to all the beautiful people out there. Thanks so much for watching. I need to go give her, hey pets, listen up, a treat. You want a treat? Do you guys want a treat? Yeah, oh, you too. You want a treat? Yeah. Okay. Gotta go give her a treat. Bye-bye.